In this video, we're going to look at a sneak peek of new advanced meshing options soon to come in Adapt Builder 2018. So what we'll do is we're going to create a model, just a very simple multi-story model. And we'll start by first assigning a few more floors. We have our default floors. We're just going to add additional floors above the top plane. And we'll select under Add Plane. We'll do this 3 or 4 times and we'll close that. We're still working on the active plane, which is the current plane, so we're going to go ahead and select and enter a slab. I'm going to add a few columns, and then we're going to add a wall. Now in this wall we want to add an opening. We're going to copy this floor vertically so we have a typical floor for this model. So I'll go ahead and let me change the view to a 3D view here. I'll use this icon for the top front right view that's docked down towards the bottom. This will allow us to see the opening that we will add. So we're going to double click on the wall. We'll go to this new option under Location/Openings. And for the openings, I'm going to add an opening. The R distance is the distance along the direction of the wall. So in this case, this will be our start point or our origin for the wall opening. We're going to say that the R distance here is 4 feet. And we're going to say that the Z distance, which is the global Z direction vertically along the length or along the height of the wall, we'll say this is also 4 feet. And we're going to add a wall opening here that might be, let's say, 6 feet by 4 feet high. And we'll go ahead and select the green checkbox, and we have this wall opening now added. And you can add multiple wall openings within the wall, but this affects how the program will mesh, whether or not we want to consider the mesh for those walls with the openings, or if we want to consider the openings for the wall when the wall is meshed. We'll go ahead now and take this level. I'm just going to select all of the components, go to Modify, and we're going to use vertical translation. I'm going to copy this up 7 times. And now we have a model with openings in each of the walls. If we look at the solid modeling view of this, you can see the walls here in the solid modeling view as well. Now the question becomes, are the wall openings critical enough for us to want to mesh around those openings? In this case, we have 2 meshers. We have the simplified mesher, which is really just the legacy mesher for the program. We have an advanced meshing option as well. So we'll go ahead and look at that. And in this case, we're going to mesh the entire structure. So we're using full structure mode, also known as global mode. We'll go over here to Analysis, and under the automatic mesh options, this screen is now looks different. If you're used to the program, this has additional settings and options. We have advanced versus simplified. The simplified option, think of that as the legacy mesher, the way that Adapt 17, 16, 15, and so on meshed structures. In this case, we can enter a suggested cell size for the slabs, as we were able to previously. Here we're going to say we want a 5-foot mesh size. We can designate whether the mesh here is sparse or uniform. So this has been moved from the criteria menu to the meshing options here. We're going to use a sparse mesh. And then we can also determine node consolidation. So this really doesn't change in terms of being able to consolidate and shift nodes automatically. If we use this option, notice that walls is inactive. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mesh the slabs. If we say OK, this does not perform the mesh operation. We need to mesh slabs in order to perform the mesh operation. And this gives the user the ability to set up settings for wall meshing without having to remesh slabs for a large model. So here we're going to mesh the slabs. If I rotate this model around, you can see that the walls have yet to be meshed. The walls are meshed at the onset of the analysis. So currently we have the slabs that are meshed. The walls are meshed dependent on the location of nodes in the slab. So if we go ahead now and just analyze the structure, we'll just analyze this for the default service combination. And what I want to do is I want to view the mesh for the walls. So we're going to go over here to visibility. We'll turn on the frame elements under FEM, and you can see the wall mesh is stacked. It's very linear. All of the shells are of uniform size. This is the old meshing algorithm that's being used for meshing, and you can see that actually the walls ignore the openings. The wall meshing ignores the openings. The mesh just goes right through the opening. It's as if the opening is not there. And that's one option. If you want to take advantage of the advanced options, we have the ability to do that and to have openings considered for wall meshing. So let's go back to analysis, automatic mesh generation, and now I'm going to switch over to advanced. So here I can actually set two different sizes for slabs and for wall mesh. I can determine whether one is sparse or uniform, or both match, sparse, sparse, uniform, uniform. And again, the node consolidation, this happens at the onset of slab meshing, so it affects the walls, but it's not a direct setting for wall meshing explicitly. So in this run, we don't want to remesh the slabs. Those have already been meshed. We just simply want to rerun the analysis and have our walls meshed considering the openings. So we're using the advanced option. The advanced option meshes the walls using a similar approach to meshing slabs. So we'll go ahead and show this. I'm actually going to switch this to sparse, and we'll say OK. That stores the settings, and again we're going to analyze the structure. I'll go back to visibility to view the wall meshing. And now you can see the wall meshing is much tighter because now it's using, again, a similar approach to slabs. We're using a sparse meshing algorithm, and we have the consideration of walls taken into account, or wall openings rather. If you have a situation where you might want to disregard one particular opening but consider other openings while still taking advantage of the new options, what the user can do, let me go ahead and set the default display. Let's say that we don't want this opening here to be considered. So I'll go to location and openings. I'll disregard that particular opening, but I want all of the others to be meshed around. So we'll go back now and analyze the structure again. We don't have to remesh the slabs. Those have already been meshed. We're just updating the wall meshing in this case. And we'll go back to home, or excuse me, to visibility, and you can see this meshes through the wall, but the openings above and below are actually meshed around. Again, this is new to come in Builder 2018. If you have any questions, please contact support@adaptsoft.com. Thank you.